Sometimes you need to accept that your failure to achieve success is your own responsibility and not anyone else's. You just haven't come upon the good possibilities yet. You're likely the one limiting your own progress sometimes too. Self-sabotage can negatively affect your abilities in the short and long term. In most cases, we aren't even aware we're being self-destructive. Because of this, it's crucial to examine the core habits that are holding you back from becoming a rock star in your own chosen industry. Welcome to Luxury Wire, where we help future billionaires become the best version of themselves. And with that being said, let's hop right into the video. First is that you believe you are entitled to life's pleasures without effort. Some of us were raised by parents who lavished us with their time and resources, and maybe you've never had to beg for anything because it was always provided for you. This isn't how things work in the actual world, despite how it may sound. You must put out significant effort to achieve your goals in the real world. Your hopes and wishes and ambitions won't materialize without active participation. Maintaining progress towards your goals requires constant effort. The only way to succeed in the real world is to consciously and deliberately work towards your goals. Second, you put things off until later. You can never get that time back that procrastination cost you, so just don't do it. Time procrastination, as the saying goes, makes you feel like you have more time than you actually do to get things done. However, if you keep putting off the essentials, you will never reach your full potential. Your credibility will suffer if you always put things off. Many of your coworkers may refuse to work with you if they know you have a history of consistently missing deadlines. As a result, you could lose employment, dramatically damaging your income. Then why not discipline yourself to get things done on time? It will help you avoid a lot of headaches in various situations. Blaming someone else is the third most common response when things go wrong. Putting the blame on someone else is simple. No one likes carrying around the weight of guilt when something terrible occurs. Still, we must accept that tragedy can strike at any time. However, if you frequently blame others, there may be an underlying issue. This is because if you constantly deny that you erred and instead place blame on others, it may look like you aren't willing to accept responsibility for your actions. In doing so, you're blocking yourself from growing from the experience and moving past the error. Suppose you don't give yourself time to analyze how you could have gone wrong or how your actions could have influenced a specific result. In that case, you'll never be able to grow from your mistakes. Fourth is picking fights with your pals. Did you know that a strong friendship includes the ability to disagree? You don't always have to agree with your friends, and a fight doesn't have to signify the end of your connection. However, it's not worth risking your reputation as a friend to anyone if you're known for starting fights frequently. Picking arguments with your friends won't get you the respect you're hoping for. If you continue acting this way, they will continue withdrawing from you. The people who disturb the peace of others are avoided at all costs. And the same holds true for you too. You likely avoid conflict with others so you don't have time to resolve disagreements with your buddies. Instead of taking the opinions or critiques of those with whom you disagree personally, you can grow by researching suitable replies and placing yourself in their position. You might never be the intended victim. At number 5 is thinking what you know now will always be enough. The only true wisdom is the recognition that you know nothing, as the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates once said. This proverb is a constant reminder that, as humans, we have much to learn. We're innovative, so it stands to reason that we have some knowledge, but if you follow Socrates' advice, you'll always feel the need to expand your horizons and your mind. You put a cap on your potential when you base your life on the belief that there is nothing more to learn. Over time, you may find yourself stuck in a rut professionally and personally. The best method to motivate yourself to learn more is to constantly remind yourself how little you already know. 6. The people you've dated have been red flags. You probably learned the cliche, love is blind, when you were a kid. It could have come from anywhere, a film, a book, or an enlightened relative. But you already know that love isn't blind. This becomes readily apparent when we consider warning signs. Dating requires both partners to be completely honest about their imperfections. While there may not be a manual for falling in love, it's relatively simple to determine whether or not you're a suitable fit for this person. It's advisable to get the heck out of there if you notice any warning signs. Don't make yourself feel better by telling yourself that you can handle this red flag. Eventually, dating someone with glaring red flags will lead to toxic and abusive relationships that are considerably more difficult to quit. 7. You have trouble putting your emotions into words. We used to make toughness appear cool, but it actually isn't. We've realized that sharing how we feel makes it easier to manage those feelings. That's why it's important to start sharing your feelings of depression with someone. Don't bury it in the hope that it will disappear. Release the tension. One of the many routes to severe mental illness is suppressing one's feelings. One of the best ways to get to know yourself and your feelings is to let your guard down and allow others to get close to you. 8th, you tend to lie to your close companions. Honesty is the cornerstone of any good friendship. Since no one enjoys being with someone who constantly lies to them, dishonesty is a surefire way to drive a permanent wedge between you and your friends. It would make them feel irrelevant and give them a wrong impression of you. In the long term, having friends leave because of your dishonesty would also be detrimental to you. 9th is bailing out when things get sticky. Try to picture yourself for a moment in a state of perfect bliss when you have nothing to worry about and everything you've ever wanted you have. I mean, that sounds awesome. Sadly, every day, life is nothing like this ideal. We can't get through life without encountering difficulties. They help us improve as people and as adults and prepare us for the world of work and responsibility that awaits us when we're in our teens. On the contrary, you will never reach your full potential if you constantly avoid confrontation. It can be that you always end your relationships quickly after a disagreement or that you quit your jobs when anything complicated arises. Yes, these circumstances may not be your fault, but your insecurity in the face of criticism and questions about your abilities may drive you to always take safety somewhere whenever things get challenging. The 10th mistake is failing to take action toward your aspirations. The fear of becoming unsuccessful is why people give up on their dreams. They console themselves by telling themselves that nothing significant would have come of it anyway. To give up on your hopes and ambitions is to give up on who you are. What would you think if you found out that a friend had abandoned a plan the two of you had discussed since you were kids? You must feel terrible for them. The world would undoubtedly see it that way if you stop trying. The 11th mistake is being a people pleaser. People won't respect you as much if they think that they can manipulate and influence you into doing what they want, resulting from your efforts to please them. People-pleasing entails more than just being overly friendly to everyone. It also involves wanting everyone to like you, or even taking offense when someone doesn't agree with you. Not expressing your feelings often, saying yes when you want to say no, and vice versa, and rarely taking charge of your actions. Obviously, it's impossible to get along with everyone. 12th is not dealing with your addictions. Suppose you find yourself smoking multiple packs of cigarettes daily, for example. In that case, you are putting your health in danger. Pornography and masturbation addictions, like gambling addictions, can negatively affect romantic relationships. As a result, your personal life will suffer, and you won't be able to tend to the essentials as they arise. Another addition is the need to control situations, making collaborating with others while overcoming the problem challenging. Changing your surroundings and teaching yourself to divert your attention are good places to start. You must learn to recognize your personal triggers. Is there a correlation between your drinking at the bar and your gambling propensities? Is it because you're bored that you watch pornographic movies, or should you give up drinking for a while? Try actively diverting your attention to anything else. It might just help. The 13th mistake is avoiding commitment. Let's face it, taking on adult responsibilities may be nerve-wracking. Isn't there a risk that this won't work out? What do you think would happen if you put all these years into that profession or relationship? You may have witnessed the downfall of more than just one relationship, which makes it challenging for you to settle down with anyone. Perhaps you were brought up to believe that no matter how hard people try, their romantic relationships will always end in heartbreak. Worse, being afraid of committing can make you clingy or irritable in your relationships. It's possible to have healthy relationships, but if things don't work out, tell yourself that you're strong enough to handle the inevitable disappointment. Number 14 on our list is criticizing yourself too much. How can you expect to do anything if you don't trust yourself? Force yourself to go outside your comfort zone and overcome your fears. While it's crucial to take stock of your life and make adjustments as needed, being overly critical of yourself will only serve to lower your confidence. And finally, the last obstacle is overthinking. Humans tend to take great satisfaction in their ability to overthink things. We say things like, "I already imagined the worst, so I don't feel that awful it didn't work out," when things don't go as planned. If you're an overthinker, you imagine the worst case scenario. Although this mitigates the emotional impact of rejection, it has long-lasting negative consequences for your emotional and physical well-being. Repeated, prolonged overthinking can alter one's worldview. A negative attitude toward life, on the other hand, will keep you from acting on opportunities that present themselves. Not surprisingly, this can also trigger episodes of depression and anxiety, both gateway disorders leading to more serious mental health issues. I mean, how could you possibly get rid of this? To alleviate stress, one should quit worrying about trivial matters, let go of control over external factors, and instead focus on improving internal factors. If you want to succeed, you need to follow your dreams. And there you have it, 15 actions that might be to blame for your problems. If you take care of them, you'll be a lot happier and more successful in life. You should start living your life on purpose, throw off your burden of pity, and see your true potential. That is all that we have for you today, and if you like this video, you might also be interested in other content we have for you here at Luxury Wire. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and until then, take care and we'll see you next time.